Why do so many MSMEs equate scaling with just hiring more people?
Well, it's often a reaction to overworking. More hands is equal to more work. That's perhaps the driving principle behind hiring. One other reason is more people is seen to be the metric for growth. So the entire philosophy is behind hiring is if we have more people, it indicates that we are scaling. But the fact is, if you don't have the capacity, if you don't have the capability, if you don't have the clarity of why you are hiring and for what kind of roles you are hiring, it's often going to lead to chaos. And therefore, it's about the clarity that a business owner needs to have in terms of what is scale and how is the business going to drive scale. Just hiring does not mean that the business is scaling, but it does deceive the business owner to believe that he is building scale.
What does hiring right actually mean in the context of scaling?
Well, there are 4 elements to hiring right. And the first one is clarity. What are you hiring for? What is the role of that person and how does it align with the business goal? So that is point number 1. Point number 2 is how are you hiring for complementary skills and not just creating clones within the organization and therefore creating scale in terms of number of people but not scale in terms of capabilities. Number 3 is the planning. When are you going to hire people? What are the timelines? Like you build a business plan. Have you created the timelines? At what stage are you going to require certain skills or capability? And the fourth and the most important element is the hiring system. Do you have the hiring system in place whereby you are going to hire based on the skills, capabilities, experience and the cultural fit that are required in your organization? Or are you hiring reactively based on gut feel? When you have a system in place, you tend to hire based on your current needs and not based on what you believe is the scale that you are trying to build.
What are the biggest risks of hiring fast but not right?
I think that's a great question. I can really tell you, hiring fast is only causing more chaos. The first thing that happens is when you are hiring fast, you are not following a system, you are not following the right kind of process, and you are going to add to chaos in your organization. The second is going to be lack of clarity. There will be people who will probably step on each other's toes because there is lack of clarity in terms of who is supposed to do what. The third one is going to be high attrition. If you are hiring fast without following the right kind of systems, you are not going to evaluate the candidates in the right manner. And most certainly, you will have high attrition in the first 3 to 6 months. That is also going to lead to a loss of morale and motivation for existing team members. So all put together, all of this is going to create a stalled growth for the business and a lot of stress for the business owner.
What systems should an MSME put in place before scaling through hiring?
I am a huge advocate of simplicity, keeping it simple. And I recommend a very simple process in hiring the right kind of people for your organization. Number 1 is clarity. You need to have an org chart which clearly defines the various roles and ensures that you are hiring only when needed. Number 2 is a smart hiring system, which would include a job description which includes the KRA and the KPIs for that role, a structured interview system, the kind of evaluation criteria that you are going to use, and more importantly, following up with reference checks so that you don't make mistakes. Number 3 is the onboarding of new employees in your organization to ensure that they seamlessly walk into your organization and kind of get integrated with the culture of your organization. So a 30, 60, 90-day plan for onboarding. And finally, a review and feedback system where every employee is objectively reviewed for their performance and you have a clearly defined feedback structure or a feedback mechanism that ensures people are always on the growth path.
If I am a founder looking to scale right now, what is that one shift I can make today?
The one shift that I would certainly advocate is to move from who can I hire to what is the problem that I am trying to solve. And in this, you need to first revisit your current team, identify the skill gap so that you know exactly what you're looking for. The next step is to ensure that you have the systems in place before you start hiring, because you need to treat hiring as a part of a team building process, not just an activity to onboard people.